Hello, welcome to Your Family Clinic Video Productions. We're glad you're here. Today we're going to do a book review on this book called Transforming the Difficult Child. We love this book because it works with kids that are very intense, such as kids that have been diagnosed with ADHD or OCD or autism or ODD, which is oppositional defiant disorder, attention deficit hyperactive disorder, or obsessive compulsive disorder, or kids that have a lot of things that are going on that are very difficult to deal with. This is a parenting technique that we feel is one of the best parenting techniques for these type of children. We agree with the author that this technique, called the Nurtured Heart approach, is a neurodevelopmental approach. In other words, it's going to change the structure of the child's brain over time. Usually these children have a lot of self-esteem issues. They feel like they can't do anything right, that they're a bad child. This book helps a parent to help them learn that they are a good child, that their behaviors sometimes are bad, but they are good and worthwhile to the family. And it actually proves it to the child. That's the neat thing about this book, that it just changes their self-esteem over time. And it gives the parents a big relief because it's a very positive approach to parenting these difficult children. All right, some of the first concepts in this book talk about how important it is to remember 3 rules. If you're using these 3 rules, you're using Nurtured Heart. The first rule is, do not give attention to negative behavior. As parents, we have the tendency to point out all the negative things that our children do and try to encourage them to change. This does not work with these type of children. These type of children usually like attention from any way they can get it. And they don't care if it's positive attention or negative attention. They're just going to get attention, and telling them what they did wrong gives them attention, and we just reinforced that negative behavior. We don't want to reinforce negative behavior. We want to reinforce positive behavior. So the second rule is, give attention, give your energy to when they're being good, when they're being positive. So we need to say things like, look, you're doing good. Or for the past 10 minutes, you haven't hit your little sister. Just anything that gives them attention for being good. As parents, we tend to ignore their good behaviors, and they don't do good behaviors because we're always giving them negative attention for their negative behaviors. So we want to give positive attention for their positive behaviors. And we want to really dry up our energy for those negative behaviors. The third rule is always give a consequence when the rule is broken. So there's 3 rules. They act sort of the legs on a stool. As long as all 3 rules are in place, the Nurtured Heart approach is destined to be a success. Knock down one of those legs, take out one of those rules, it's going to fail, but you can always put it back in that rule and be consistent with it, and Nurtured Heart will start working again. So again, those 3 rules are, do not give energy to negative behavior, give your energy to positive behavior, and always give a consequence when a rule is broken. In Nurtured Heart, the consequences are very easy, very simple. They're like no big deal. Intense children do not do well with long consequences. They have a hard enough time paying attention to very short things. They're not going to do well with a very long consequence. Some children, they don't care what consequence they get. It's giving them attention. Even a spanking gives them attention. Now, not all kids are that way. Normal kids, they respond well to your normal interventions. It's just that these intense children do not. So this is a way to change your parenting techniques for them. We're not saying that you're a bad parent. We're saying that normal parenting techniques do not work well with these intense children. So, what is a no big deal consequence? In the book, it talks about just setting them down in a chair and have them wait 30 seconds. We recommend if you do that, let them count to 30 and then get up. That's the end of the consequence. We don't care if they hate the consequence, they love the consequence, they think it's a game consequence. We just are looking for an effective consequence. An effective consequence is defined as that things go back into time in. Time in is defined that everything is going smooth. The children are behaving, they're working well, they're doing the things they need to do. When they do that, we feel relaxed, we feel calm. That is called time in. The second they break a rule, we usually feel tension. We're no longer in time in. So if we can give them a consequence that'll get us back into time in as quick as possible, that is an effective consequence. It could be a simple consequence like touch the wall, or put your head down and count to 10 if they're at a desk. It doesn't really, it could be one push-up or 3 jumping jacks. Just anything that's going to say, okay, we got off our pattern of good behavior, let's get back on. That's what we want with a consequence. Now, there are times when the child does something really, really bad. In the Nurtured Heart approach, it gives a consequence for that, and it's called community service. Community service is something that's trying to restore the damage that they've done. Like, suppose that they really hurt their sibling. Well, they might have to, as a community service, make that sibling's bed for a week. The ideal community service is something that they can do and feel positive about themselves for having completed it, whether it's cleaning the car or some other thing that they can do that will just help boost up their self-esteem and make up for the damage that they caused to the person or to the family that they've harmed. That is community service. And usually when you administer community service, all privileges are suspended until they complete their community service. So that's basically the Nurtured Heart approach. We recommend that you read the whole book. There's lots of stories in this book, and the reason the stories are in there is to give you a big picture of what the technique, the approach is all about. How it talks about the importance of shaping behavior. A lot of times as parents, we expect too much of our children and they can't accomplish it. So this asks you to break it down and give reinforcements for steps that they're making. For example, some kids cannot handle going into Walmart. So what it asks you to do is to break it down in steps. Maybe go into Walmart without purchasing anything. If they do good, then you'll go back another day and try a little longer until finally they can go into Walmart, you can get your shopping done, and they have decent behavior. So it's all about shaping behavior. There's also things about the importance of having a good attitude and expecting miracles and just being positive in your approach. The importance of this technique is to be consistent. As parents, we're usually not very consistent, so we have to focus on being more consistent. When we're not consistent, we don't need to beat ourselves up. We just need to try again and get more consistent. Now, this book is really good, and what I found with our clients that use these techniques is you can expect a change in your child's behavior within 4 weeks. Now, that's your goal. So we recommend that you read the book, and then when it says that you've finished reading step 1, we recommend that you read the book, and when you finish step 1 of the book, go ahead and implement step 1. Step 1 is all about giving positive praise for when your child is being good, behaving well. Continue their discipline techniques the same as usual until a week has been completed. Then, after that week of step 1, you're ready to implement the rest of the program. We hope you like it. We hope you leave us some feedback about how well it went for you. If you have any other techniques, or if you know of great parenting techniques, we have a place on our website so that you can list those techniques and share with others. We hope you've enjoyed this presentation. My name is Dan Moore from Your Family Clinic. And thank you. You've listened to another video from Your Family Clinic. If you like this video, please press the like button. If you'd like to subscribe, please do so by pressing the subscribe button. We appreciate your interest in Your Family Clinic materials.